Welcome back, everyone. I'm here to go over Learn Python 2, Pyglatin. As you saw, Pyglatin is a part of the conditionals and control flow part of this section. It's really applying what we know about if and else statements. So let's take a look. So as we're going, we want to know about raw input, knowing how to slice and dice strings by using the index. That's what I call it. Understand what Pyglatin is, and then see if you can explain in words how code works, aka pseudocode. So back to Python 2, when we go to Pyglatin. So I want to, as you can see, this is what your code should look like at the end. Don't cheat, at least yet. Let's go back to the first part of the code. So going back, it tells you up front the 4 things you should know. Ask the user for input, make sure it's a word, converting it using some kind of algorithm or function, and display the result. So the things we want to be able to use here, we don't really get until lesson 3. Okay, so input. So this thing called raw input built into Python 2 basically says, or prompts the user to be able to ask them for input. So here we go. What's your name? Brent. Cool. So that makes sense. So if it's a word, it's going to print original. Okay, so we don't actually get the code for original is alpha until later. So this one is just saying print, but later on we're going to see that we want to be able to check to see that it actually has some word, right? So that is seen by if the length of original is greater than 0. Okay, so lesson 4 of this is really that part. And then now we know using the AND operator for something else. So when we go to next here, we see that this other function called isAlpha follows the same type of operations that .lower and .upper do. So you see here that the word original, if it's greater than 0 and is alpha, like alphanumeric, it's going to print original. Okay, so just that is good to understand. And then we have if it's a word, print it, otherwise say it's empty. Okay, so when we get to lesson 6, you're just testing that, right? So let's test to see if it works for not a word, right? I go, what is your name? Enter, empty, right? Because I didn't enter anything. Okay, let's run it again. Let's put in something that clearly isn't a word. Cool, empty. Now we know that this logically works. Let's go to our next one. Okay, so now we're assigning a new variable called pyg to be ay. So just, what are you going to use that for, right? You're probably going to use that to actually convert it to Pyglatin. Let's go forward here. Okay, so really this is the answer. You're not supposed to know that yet, but it's going to be asking you to be using the .lower, something we've already used before, right? So this stuff here, all of this stuff here, is stuff that you can test in Repellent. But take a look, see how in line 7, I've used a comment to no longer print out the original word. So let's look at the code here again. Word equals original.lower, right? So here, if it's a word and it's letters, we want the word to be now lowercase. We're going to take the first letter of the word, right? And so it's an appropriately named variable, word 0. We want the new word to be the word in lowercase plus the first letter plus ay. So versus what we're going to do here and change new word later. So that you won't actually see until lesson 10. So all this stuff here for lesson 9 is changing new word, right? So check it out. I actually just redid this lesson to be able to understand why it was a good lesson. So if you have any problems, let me know, send me a note. But hey, here's the answer. Make sure it works. Try your best. Thank you.